Hi, I'm Bachman Fulmer, Associate Professor of Accounting. I was asked to talk today about video production and editing. I'll talk a bit more about production later, but I wanted to start with editing. I used Adobe Premiere to put together this video. It was a summer project where I was learning how to do video editing. The great thing about Premiere is that it's a pro-level tool, and because we have access to Adobe Creative Cloud, it's free for us. Even though it's free, there's a very steep learning curve. Video editing in general has a learning curve associated with it, but because these are such pro-level tools, the learning curve is a little bit higher. Plus, I don't really think it's very well suited for the education use case because it doesn't have any screen capture abilities, and I also like to capture the webcam as I'm capturing my screen. Adobe Premiere doesn't do these things. This is what I use. I use Camtasia. Camtasia is awesome. One of its biggest customer segments is the education market, and as such, it has a lot of great features built in that work really well for our use case. For instance, it captures both the screen and simultaneously a webcam.
It is, in fact, the embodiment of the fundamental accounting equation. We just put it into a format called the balance sheet. Incredibly important.
Which is really awesome for that picture-in-picture effect, which makes your videos a lot more interesting for your students to watch.
Statement of cash flows is also really closely looked at by especially investors.
To me, the best thing about Camtasia is that while there still is a learning curve, as with any video editing software, it's not as bad as Adobe Premiere. It's really geared towards somebody who wants to make a nice video but doesn't have a ton of time to put into it. The biggest downside to Camtasia, however, is its cost. It has an educational license version, which currently runs about $170. And when I inquired, the university hadn't purchased any licenses for our use. So it's an investment. I really enjoy the functionality, and I've had a lot of fun putting together videos with it, but it isn't without cost. Camtasia has this awesome companion piece of software called Snagit. And I like to use Snagit to capture real quick and easy videos that I share with my students when they have homework questions, or sometimes I provide feedback to them.
And it's hard for me to explain via email, so that's why I'm creating this video for you. See down here underneath the beginning balance under cash. So cash, then it's beginning balance, and then...
Another downside of Camtasia is that it is a full-featured video editor, and video editing can be pretty taxing on a computer. So it can get a bit laggy. And there is also a pretty long period of time after you finish editing a video where you need to do a video rendering process. On my longer videos, I've actually scheduled that overnight. An alternative to Camtasia is Luxia. It seems to be significantly less expensive and offer a lot of the same functionality as Camtasia. And it has a free unlimited trial where most of the features are available for your use. I want to talk real briefly about VidGrid. VidGrid is awesome. For instance, I love the fact that I can upload my finished video and have it automatically generate a transcript for me. I create that so my students can search through my lectures for the particular pieces of information that they're interested in, rather than having to watch the entire thing. The other thing I love about VidGrid is its analytics. It has very detailed analytics about who's watching your videos, and you can see their viewing behaviors as well, like how much of the video did they actually view, and what parts did they emphasize. Now, editing is all about the software, but let's talk a little bit about the hardware as well. What I'm about to talk about are investments that I just decided to make on my own because I became interested in video production and video editing. My point is to just share the benefit of my own experience and research. These are just my opinions, and other people may have strong opinions that differ from mine. For professional video, it's easy to think that you need an expensive camera. But there's some really inexpensive things that you can do that can level up your video significantly without having to invest in a new camera. The first thing I'm going to recommend is to invest a little bit in your lighting. The basic idea here is that you want bright, diffuse light, ideally coming from multiple angles. I decided to invest in a 12-inch ring light from Amazon. It's not very expensive. It's about 25 bucks. But it produces a nice diffuse effect that covers a wide area. I also invested in an inexpensive light box set. Here's one from Groupon for just $42. Either one of these, or especially the combination, can create great lighting effects for minimal cost. Also, before investing in a new camera, I'd recommend investing in a nice microphone. Again, this doesn't have to be very expensive, but it can create a big difference for those who are viewing and listening to your videos. A very popular choice and good quality is the Blue Snowball microphone. You can get it from Amazon for about $50. It's not my favorite, but it does produce really good results. Personally, I get a lot of use out of my Samson Go mic. I love its small size and portability and really high audio quality. Again, available from Amazon for $50. But you don't have to spend that much. Perhaps my favorite microphone is my lavalier mic that I purchased from Amazon for just about 23 bucks. The lavalier mic has a lot of uses. It's very versatile, and I think the audio quality is excellent. So you don't have to spend a lot in order to really increase the quality of the audio in your videos. So one of the important points I want to make is that even without investing in a new camera, you can make a significant improvement in the quality of your video by improving the lighting and the audio that you capture along with your video. It can certainly be tempting to just dive right in and start recording, but I personally find that recorded content isn't nearly as tolerant of winging it as your typical live presentation would be. So I'm a big proponent of taking the time to sit down and think about what you want to say before you start recording. What you end up with will be much higher quality and more interesting to your audience.
Well, welcome to Accounting 202. It's your official indoctrination. This is chapter 1. Accounting is really a fascinating subject, and I hope that you're going to love it too. I love it, obviously. It's a really important skill set for you to learn, regardless of what your career ends up being. I'm a little bit biased. I hope that you all end up becoming accounting majors. But regardless of what your major ends up being or where your career takes you, you will be using this information pretty much constantly. It's how businesses run. And so it's really important that we master this material together and we learn as much as we can that adds value to your education and ultimately to your career. Welcome again to Accounting 202.
There's certainly a lot more to share, but perhaps we can save some stuff for next time. Until then, happy creating. And remember, whatever we can do to improve the experience of our students matters so much, especially right now. Thanks again.